There are more and more signs of the possible contacts between Moscow and Washington, but the doomed Kiev regime has failed to play strongly and achieve any victories on the battlefield so far. The recent large-scale attacks by the Ukrainian army led to another defeat in the Russian Kursk region. Having lost hundreds of soldiers and dozens of military vehicles, including precious tanks from NATO, Ukrainian forces did not expand their zone of control southeast of Sudza and failed to gain new footholds. The Russian troops continue the mop-up operations and counterattack, repelling the remaining Ukrainian soldiers from the forest areas near Cherkasskaya Konopelka and Fedosevka. Ukrainians have been trying to evacuate the wounded from the area for several days now. According to the latest reports from the front, the Russian military secured its control of Fedosevka and completed the mop-up operations in the forest south of the village. East of Cherkasskaya Konopelka, Russian troops are advancing near the local dam. The standoff persists in all directions in the Kursk region. The Russian army increases pressure on the western flank of the Ukrainian grouping in Sudza. According to the latest reports from the battlefield, they secured their foothold in the western part of the village of Selidkova. Ukrainian forces are hiding behind the local river in the eastern part of the village. Selidkova is a key stronghold of the Ukrainian army, control of which will pave the way for further Russian offensives on Sudza from the west. According to estimates by the Russian Defense Ministry, the armed forces of Ukraine have already lost about 60,000 people in battles in the Kursk region. Heavy Ukrainian losses are confirmed by footage in the region. Despite the ongoing defeats both in the Kursk region and in the Donbass, the Ukrainian military command continues sending reinforcements to Russian territory. Over 320 additional fighters from Ukrainian airborne assault units with more armored vehicles were reportedly deployed to the border region of the Russian Federation in recent days. The numerous reserves thrown into Kursk battles have not changed the front line so far, but the head of the Kiev regime, Zelensky, is still betting on the bloody attacks on Russian soil, hoping for some political benefits. In his recent interview, Zelensky called the Kursk operations of the Ukrainian army very beautiful. In February of 2024, the Russian army took control of a large number of cities and towns on the Donbass front lines. They include Avdiivka, Ugledar, Selidova, Kurahova, Velikaya Novoselka, etc., not to mention dozens of smaller villages. The last large Russian victory is the liberation of Tarietsk. In its turn, the Kiev regime keeps losing its military units, with NATO tanks in its beautiful operations, proud of its control of a small town named Sudza on Russian territory.